This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Alan Troop. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was our trip to the new Quincy Animal Shelter. Reporter Devin Higgins toured the new facility and now shares the details.
The city of Quincy has a new home for stray dogs and cats who are looking for homes of their own. The new $800,000 Quincy Animal Shelter held its grand opening Friday with an open house, and manager Rachel Lewis said the expanded facility will help both the pets and people.
So for us, we're so thrilled to be moved into this new facility since it's designed to do with what we're doing with it. It's set up for adoptions, all these nice rooms with the glass windows so you can look in and really observe the pets even before you're next to them, or observe them playing with volunteers. It allows people a chance to see what an animal is going to be like in their home, which is the ultimate goal, is to get the pets into a home.
The old shelter was built across town in 2005, but Lewis said the move to a new building was necessary.
Our old facility was about half the size in total square footage as the building here is. We didn't have much of a play area. We have a great big grass backyard here for the dogs to be able to interact. We only had 7 indoor-outdoor kennels, and they were very poorly lit. So it was kind of a dark place, where here we're very well lit with indoor light, with lighting, as well as we have some skylights, so we get a lot of natural light as well, which just helps portray the animals. They look happier, it's brighter, it's much better.
A key element in helping shelter animals transition to homes is being in a safe and welcoming environment. Lewis said the new building fosters that transition.
It does, on top of them being more comfortable because it's more like a home where they came from. So it's less stress on them. Therefore, they are more acting like they would always act because they don't have that stressful transition period as much. So their personalities stay much truer. And then when they get into a home, the adopters don't see this total transformation. Sometimes bad habits tend to come from that, and then the adoption doesn't stick.
The Friends of the Quincy Animal Shelter were on hand to help give tours of the facility and provided refreshments. The Quincy Animal Shelter is slated to put nearly 500 cats and dogs in new homes this year and averages about 50 adoptions per month. The shelter only accepts animals from within the Quincy city limits, but have had families from Western Washington, Oregon, and even British Columbia, Canada come in and adopt pets. The shelter is also looking for donations of pet and cleaning supplies and welcomes volunteers from age 11 and up. In Quincy, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
As the holidays got started, the Moses Lake Museum and Art Center celebrated with a show of their own, a show that almost didn't happen.
Hundreds of people celebrated the holiday season Friday night at the Moses Lake Museum and Art Center. The museum held its annual holiday show, which brought people to see art, bid on items, and have their photo taken with Santa Claus. Museum manager Freya Liggett was happy with the turnout for the event.
Well, we're only about a half hour into the event, and we're at almost capacity for the building, so we've had a fantastic turnout. The dessert bar is disappearing very quickly, and Santa, I believe, has just arrived.
She said the event helps raise money for the museum's free Family Saturday program. The program brings people to the museum to make crafts and participate in other family activities. The holiday show almost didn't happen this year after the City Council agreed to cut funding to it because of budget concerns. But a group of community members and businesses stepped in to support the show.
When the announcement came that we weren't going to have funding for this event, certainly it was a shock for our staff and our volunteers, kind of trying to figure out, what our next step would be. But we had so many people come out to help us and support us that we really didn't lose as much time as we could have. And tonight's event actually shaped up a little easier than previous years. So.
While Liggett initially said it would be a smaller show than normal, the community support made it larger than she expected. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
And we'll be right back after this.